All right, here we go. The fight that everyone's been waiting for, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. Hard to believe that we are finally here. Two guys, legends of the sport, and the crowd is on its feet. I mean, there's more people at Allegiant Stadium than would be at a Las Vegas Raiders game. I mean, this place is completely sold out, packed, and that's the bell, and here we go. And more on this night as this fight goes on, assuming it's going to go for a little while. And you got Canelo opening up in right-handed stance as expected, but Crawford is a switch stance fighter opening up opposite stance, standing lefty. And the crowd is roaring. I mean, there's just no question about it. They're going to be loud throughout. Mexico having a great day. Going back to UFC, they went undefeated at 5-0, 8-0 if you count all fighters with some sort of Mexican heritage. And now you got Canelo Alvarez from Guadalajara looking to cap off a perfect day and send Mexico into a frenzy. And Crawford, on the other hand, neither fighter really landed yet, but Crawford trying to spoil the party. No question about it. Canelo is the favorite in this fight. First minute gone, and both guys just feeling each other out. It's a 12-round fight, so plenty of time. Alvarez moving forward, up and down, keeping his head off the center line. That's clear. Yeah, and the fans are starting to get edgy already. I mean, they want some action. And Crawford moving around the outside of the ring. I got to remember not to say octagon today. Y'all keep me on track. Used to watching UFC. Haven't watched a boxing card like tonight in almost at least 15, maybe 20 years. Since Dana White is producing this thing, it's been clearly much better. And a big right there by Crawford. Partially blocked though. Oh, Crawford with the left-right combo. Now to wake Canelo up as he lands a big right. And another one to the body. And as to be expected, both guys look like they're in great shape, having tremendous training camps preparing for this fight. One of the biggest fights in boxing in a long, long time. And it's not on pay-per-view, which is even better. So more people are watching this fight than have watched a boxing fight since I think they said Ali Spinks in 1978, roughly, about 47 years ago. That'll do it for round one. Not much action. Not much to talk about after the first round. So I don't know about earlier in the night, but since I've been watching, there hasn't been any finishes. Every fight's gone to a decision. That's one thing that's different compared to UFC, right? It's you know 3 quick rounds, 5 minutes, next fight's up, right? And oftentimes, 50% of the time, you're getting a finish in those fights. But in boxing, there's a lot of rounds. It goes a while. You got to be patient. And this is a sport I grew up on. And then it kind of got away. You had champions that never fought, multiple promotions, and Dana White's trying to usher in the golden age of boxing, trying to reorganize. And this is a good start, that's for sure. Round two underway. Crawford still standing left-handed. We haven't seen him stand right-handed yet. Keep in mind he's a switch stance, so he's choosing to stand opposite of Canelo. And the thing is it keeps that right hand of Canelo farther away, right? It makes it harder for him to land. Now Crawford's backed up into the corner. He gets out. And if there's not much action, the crowd is going to let them know. I mean, they sat through a lot of fights, a lot of decisions, right? And everybody wants to see something big happen here. So if there's not enough action, the crowd's going to let them hear it. Right now, they're being sort of patient, but it will get louder and louder as this fight goes on. There's a nice right by Canelo. That gets the crowd roaring a little bit. Ooh, and a right left by Crawford. Man, their legs are so close, they're nearly stepping on each other all the time. Canelo being patient, too. I mean, Canelo is being very patient. Under a minute now, round two. Crawford himself looking good, too. I mean, he's not showing any nerves. He's right in Canelo's face. But what everybody wants to see is when Canelo lands upstairs, up top, will Crawford be able to take it? Right now, Crawford's looking good. He's keeping him back with the jab. The opposite stance is keeping Canelo a little bit off balance as well. And he's throwing the right as he just did. Left, right, whiffed on both. So he's having a hard time getting inside of Crawford. That's something to keep an eye on throughout this fight. And boxing is geared up for a big comeback, right? It's not like UFC where it's not as much action, right? It's not as much action. But at the same time, it's geared for a comeback. People still like boxing. But something big needs to happen in this fight that's going to get people interested. How do you get to a point in boxing where, like the UFC, you know who the top 10 are in any specific division? Most of us don't even know who the number one guy is in any division, let alone the other nine, right? In the UFC, I can go division by division and off the top of my head, name at least seven of the top 10 fighters in every division, right? We know their names. We know who they are. Can Dana White get boxing back to that level? Round three is underway. Canelo opens with a big right. Crowd getting louder now. They want some action. And I don't want to say there's nerves from either fighter, but if there is, it will be more on the side of Canelo because he's the favorite, right? Crawford's got a lot to lose too. I mean, the guy's undefeated. Yeah, there's a lot of talk that he hasn't fought the big fight, right? The uh, big name competition, right? And if he loses this, they're going to say the one time he did that he didn't win it. You know, he'll have one loss on his record. So a lot at stake for him. And at the same time, he's going up multiple weight classes or divisions to face Canelo. Looking good right now. Canelo having a hard time landing. We'll wait and see the stats. We had a hard time today trying to find stats on boxing. That's the other problem with boxing as well. Like, how can there not be somewhere you can go to see live stats at any second? Not much action here. No one's really landed cleanly yet, and we're nearly 3 rounds deep in this fight. Canelo continually walking forward. It's Crawford who's moving around the outside. And nice counter there. Counter combo by Crawford. And boy, Canelo is very patient. I haven't seen a lot of his fights, but right now he's very patient. He's not pressing at all. It's like he's just waiting for that perfect opportunity. And I'll be curious to see what the numbers are. I have no idea what it is round by round. We'll look at the unofficial scorecards as they start to post. But that 3 rounds is done, and not a lot of action just yet. Part of that is because they're both very skilled. They're not putting themselves in position to take punches. So Crawford's corner is basically telling him to touch, and more or less get out of dodge, right? Don't let Crawford load up or Canelo load up. And Canelo's corner telling him he's got to get close range, and I think he knows that. You got to, he's having trouble landing, so it's obvious that he's got to get in closer range, but then he's in position to be countered upon. So, that's a trouble for Canelo right now. First jab landed by Crawford. Round 4 underway. Boy, Crawford really opening up now. Boy, the unofficial scorecards got Crawford up 3-0. So Canelo's going to be forced to get going here. And the opposite stance is really causing problems for Canelo. I mean, Crawford's just outpacing him. He's not hurting him by any means, but he's just causing problems for Canelo, who's now trying to cut off Crawford, but Crawford gets out. You can hear the rumblings in the crowd. They're starting to get, I don't want to say nervous, but definitely edgy. Crawford back-to-back lefts. Canelo did not waste a lot of energy in the first 3 rounds. I mean, he was almost very patient to lose those rounds. And Canelo finally lands up top for the first time. 1 minute to go. I'll tell you what, fast rounds. 3 minutes goes by in a blink of an eye. Canelo keeps moving forward, but he's got his weight on the back foot, so he's looking to explode. Crawford having a good time in there. He's just smiling. He's having a great time. And you can hear from the crowd, it's constant noise, right? I mean, it's constant noise, rumblings. They're starting to get nervous. We're about a third through this fight, and Canelo really hasn't done much just yet. It's Crawford who's been more active, and there's a right by Canelo. Crawford smiling at him. He's like, okay. Here's a replay. Boom, right to the body. Canelo to the body, but then he takes 3, 4 punches, 5 off counters. Yep. And there's the first one Canelo landed up top. And a second. And the crowd's oohing and ahhing, but I mean, it's a tap. It's nothing more than a tap. There's Logan Paul in attendance. Mike Tyson in the house. Okay. And Canelo's corner is saying you got to aim a little higher. That's what they like to see. They like to see him aim a little higher than where he's been thrown. But the bottom line is Crawford's dominating this fight right now. At least round by round. He's up at minimum 3-1 here in the fifth. About 20 seconds into it. And it's not like Crawford has all this power, right? It's the opposite stance. It's messing with Canelo for some reason. And it's the activity. See here on the unofficial scorecard, 40-36, 4 rounds to none for Crawford. And if you're listening, you're hearing that right. Canelo is down 4 rounds to none. So it's getting closer and closer to like you're going to need a finish. We're only in round 5 out of 12. Canelo lands a left. And Canelo's really trying to, cut off Crawford in the corner. And Crawford lets him for a second, but he always finds his way out. So there's no worry for him. Come on, Canelo, you got to pick it up, man. I mean, Crawford's just outpointing him. There it is again. He almost gets cut off, gets out, and smiles. Whoa. They get tied up for like the first time that I can remember. And Canelo, it looked like he was going to throw Crawford over the outside the ring. There's the end of round 5. This fight's going quick. And we'll see if Canelo's corner gets more animated here because it's getting more and more likely that he's got to really do something. They're telling him everything is okay, which means it's not, but they're trying to calm him down. Yeah, so they're still giving Canelo instructions, but nothing along the lines of, you know, him having to totally go for it yet. Crawford's corner's talking to him about, continuing to duck and slide step out of there, which he's done a phenomenal job of. Here we go, round 6 underway. And we're in uncharted territory. I mean, being that we cover UFC most of the time, right? There is no 6th round. So round 5 went to Canelo, and this is on the unofficial scorecard. It tries to give you an idea. Of course, it's usually off, but boy, and Crawford lands a big left. Yeah, Canelo's just got to make this a nasty fight at some point. Like, he's just got to make it. He's got to get in there and force Crawford out of his comfort zone. He is making Crawford move a lot. Crawford getting more and more comfortable. I mean, he's smiling in there. He's talking a little trash. He's gotten to a point where he's very, very comfortable in this fight, and that's not good for Canelo. Canelo lands a nice body shot. And the ref breaks him up. They restart. Meanwhile, 10 seconds comes off the clock. Approaching the final minute of round 6. We're about to be halfway through the fight. Crawford just creating all types of problems for Canelo. I mean, that's the bottom line. The opposite stance is a little bit of a problem. The jab is a problem. And all these things are keeping Canelo from getting close enough to land a big right hand. Yeah, and the crowd's getting more and more nervous as this fight goes on. That's for sure. That'll do it for round 6. We are halfway through this fight, and you can expect the action to start picking up. I love it. I mean, it would be nice if we can get some stats here. If they could show us some stats, what's landed round by round. They were doing that in other fights. They're not doing that now. We're flying blind as far as round by round and total stats. And they're telling Canelo now, you got to stay more active. You got to get inside, connect to the body to get the hands down, slow the movement. Is more or less what they're telling him. So they're getting a little more aggressive in the corner. And look, you see that Canelo gets close, but he takes a big left. And now Canelo backs him in the corner. Boom, he takes a left. And right now, Canelo's just whiffing. I mean, he'll back Crawford up into the corner, and then he'll miss on a big punch, and Crawford will just slip out. He's up by 4 rounds with 6 to go. Well, I'll tell you what, Crawford's looking impressive, man. Unless there's a big punch or something that changes this fight, Crawford is just feeling good in there. And he has not switched to righty once. So he's seen something in his opposite stance that he likes. And they're also moving to their right, which is a major advantage for Crawford. Fans starting to boo a little bit here. You know, they want some action. And it's a largely Canelo crowd. And Mexico loves their fighters. I mean, they're diehard when it comes to the fight game. And going undefeated in the UFC today, this fight right here would cap off just a brilliant day all over the board in terms of fighting for Mexico. And that's why you're hearing the crowd boo. Now Canelo's got him in the corner. Here we go. He has yet to be able to keep him there. And Crawford slips out. Canelo is keeping a lot of pressure on, but he just cannot keep Crawford in the corner. So Crawford's content in allowing Canelo to come forward, and then he just resets by sliding out of it, and then is ready to re-engage. And that'll do it for round 7. Boy, and if something doesn't happen, we might very well go the whole night, at least in the main card, with no finishes. And I don't see a lot of concern on Canelo's face. I wish I did. There needs to be some type of sense that, hey, I need to go in there and get a finish now. Like, I need to pick this thing up, you know? And partly that's the corner's job to let him know. I mean, we saw that in the last fight where Fernando Vargas Sr., great legendary boxer, right, was telling his son throughout the fight, especially the last 3 rounds, like, you're down and you're down big and you need to finish. And he started to pick up. He didn't get to finish. He lost the fight. But he definitely started listening to his corner and picking up his activity, trying to get a finish. That's what Canelo's corner needs to be saying. Canelo starts round 8 with a right. And it's Crawford who's backing off. Crawford lands an upper to the body. Here we go. Fight totals. Crawford 64 to 48 landed. So Crawford's up by 16 over 8 rounds. So it's not like, it's only 2 punches per round. Crowd's getting loud, and it's kind of like the crowd's anticipating like something happening, but now it's round 8, nothing's happened. The crowd is starting to get tense second by second. And hopefully we don't go this whole fight waiting for Canelo to unload. I mean, it might very well happen that way. Ref breaks him up here, 40 seconds left in the round. And the ref will break him up. And you're at the point where anytime the ref has to break him up, that's good for Crawford, right? Because the clock just keeps moving. The clock keeps moving. And that'll do it. Both guys headed back to the corner. Two-thirds of the fight is complete. Yeah, and that was an interesting moment with Canelo trying at the end of the round putting his glove out to tap Crawford, and Crawford didn't take it. And one could speculate that Crawford's being a little too friendly there when he should be, and maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't realize he's down right now. But the last thing he needs to do is be friendly with Terence Crawford. He needs to get mean, he needs to get mad, and he needs to get a finish, is basically what needs to happen. Crawford up by 4, and here we go. Here we go. They're starting this round a little better. Now they're picking it up, both guys in close quarters. And look at Crawford opening up now. Okay, the crowd's on its feet, and Crawford opening up big time. And all of a sudden, it's like flipping on a switch. Both these guys are starting to pick up their pace. And now they're stuck in the corner. Now the ref's stopping the fight here with 2:18 left. He's calling time. And Crawford in the corner, so I'm not sure what happened here. And we got a headbutt here. And Canelo telling him, I'm sorry, buddy. Come on, Canelo, you got to get mean, man. You're going to lose this fight. Messing around and trying to be friends out there, it ain't going to work. And a nice right landed by Canelo. And another right. And another. This is definitely the best round so far. And we're only a minute in. Hopefully these guys can keep this pace up, which I'm sure they can. And I don't personally have a favorite in this fight. I just want to see something happen. Even if no one goes down, I want to see these guys really open up. And Canelo just cannot land the big shot like he does in a lot of his fights, right? He just cannot land it. Crawford will not stop moving around the octagon. Because the thing is, yeah, and the crowd's booing, but Crawford's doing a good job by moving. And you're seeing that. Like, Canelo wants to walk you down and be comfortable. And as soon as you slide to one way, he has to totally restart every time. He doesn't have the ability to slide with you and stay on you. He wants to re-engage, he wants to reset, then engage. And Crawford's not allowing him to do that. So it's just causing all types of problems here for Canelo. And that's the end of round 9. We're heading into the fourth quarter. Right? Final 3 rounds. Man, wow. Crawford just a little quicker here. So Canelo's corner saying you got to hit him hard. I mean, that's the advice he got. Crawford's corner saying I don't think he's up. You know, but according to Skipper's unofficial scorecard, he's up by 5, 88 to 83. So if that's correct, Crawford just has to stay out of dodge. And as any fighter knows, you don't know what's on the judge's scorecard. You don't want it to go to the judge's scorecard, but you also can't put yourself in a position to get finished. But that's what it is. It's clear Canelo in his fight style wants to stand in a pocket and just go at it, right? But Crawford doesn't sit still, man. He's constantly moving, and it's just frustrating the crap out of Canelo. And you don't see it often in sports, especially fighting. You see it once in a while, but you don't see it often where the corner sits the fighter down and says, "Hey, listen, it's over. You're not winning by decision. You either land a KO or he's going to win." And Canelo needs to hear that right now. And Crawford's going to start holding. Why wouldn't you? And it appears to me that Crawford knows he's got a lead here. If he's not standing still, he's moving around constantly around the outside of the octagon, sliding left right now, pivot, now slide right. And every time, man, Canelo pops up and he's got to walk him back down and then re-engage. And when I say re-engage, he's not really even engaging. He's just resetting, right? He would like Crawford just to stay right in front of him, as any boxer probably would. But Canelo's not going to do that, or Crawford's not going to do that. There's a tap for round 10. Both guys broken up. And we'll see what Canelo's corner tells him. I mean, Crawford's corner, you know, they're not sure how much they're up by. They know they're up, but how much? You got to still keep fighting somewhat. But Canelo's corner needs it. When he sits down, they need to tell him that you need a finish at all costs. And it's hard to tell that to your fighter without knowing exactly what's on the scorecards. But this is clear as day. If there's no official or unofficial scorecard to look at or stats of any kind, this is clear as day that Crawford is outpointing Canelo. Yeah, so Canelo's corner is just telling him he's got to be strong. Here we go, round 11. You see Dana White in the background. He doesn't look upset, but you know there's some concern there from Dana White too. You'd love to see someone get finished here. Still a great event, but you love it to be capped off. Crawford's still up 97-93 on the unofficial scorecard. Means nothing, right? Canelo is the champ. Oh, nice counter left for Crawford as he backs up and lands another right left. Oh boy. Oh, Canelo takes a left, but he continues to move forward. Now he's got Crawford in the corner, but Crawford's going to slip out. Canelo landing a little more in this round. And if you're not going to get the finish and you're Canelo, you have absolutely got to win these last two rounds. It's just Canelo's not in a position against Crawford to outpoint him. Crawford staying low, constantly moving, constantly getting out of dodge. Slide step, keeping his head off the center line. Canelo still trying to cut him off in the corner. He can't. And it's got to be absolutely frustrating for Canelo Alvarez. I mean, even when he does get a chance to set up and try to engage, boom, Crawford lands a right jab and slides out. Three minutes to go in this fight. Wow. And I'll be curious to see who they gave that round to. Excuse me. It's been a long day, baby. But yeah, I'll be curious to see who they gave this. You know, it's unofficial, but see who they gave the round to. Canelo's either down 5 rounds or 3 on the unofficial scorecard. And it's tough in boxing to get your fighter to just get to the mind, especially Canelo here, to get in the mind state of I just got to let loose and go for it because that's how you get KO'd. Honestly, I mean you're dealing with one of the best fighters in the world across from you, right? Both fighters touch gloves, and here we go. They gave it to Canelo. No, that was same as before. Oh, I'm mistaken. I thought we were in round 12. Excuse me. Round 11. Getting ahead of myself. No, it is round 12. They're messing up. What is going on? They're showing round 11 now, changed to round 12, and then after the round started. So, and when they put up the unofficial scorecard, they only showed 10 rounds. Okay, here we go. Yeah, they gave that round to Crawford. So he's up 107 to 102. I mean, that's a lot of room for error. I mean, Crawford's got to be winning this fight. Canelo is the champ. And we already know in boxing, you got to really beat the champ. There's a lot of close rounds that the judges sometimes give to the champ. Oh, big left by Crawford. Wow. Halfway through round 12. Crowd starting to boo because it's like Crawford never, or Canelo never got off the ground. He just never got going. Final minute, crowd's going crazy. The whole fight, you're waiting for the build up. Something's going to happen, right? It hasn't happened. Canelo takes a left. Wow. Crawford 157 to 123. They're both at 37% accuracy, but the difference is Crawford's been more active. And the body language for Canelo looks terrible. Canelo whiffs on the right. And wow, this thing is marching down for Crawford to get a huge victory here in his career to remain undefeated. Wow. Wow. And Canelo puts his hand up. See, and that's what I'm saying. I don't get that. I mean, I don't get it. Crawford absolutely won this fight. Right. Max Kellerman saying the same thing. We just watched Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez. Now let's see what the judges say. And both guys talking here. We're getting a look at some replays, but it's just incredible. It's just incredible. I mean, he just dominated Canelo, man. Unbelievable. And that's my first time really, I've seen the highlights. You know me, I'm big into UFC, right? So I'm deep into that every Saturday. I'm catching the highlights of Canelo. I'm like, man, this guy's for real. Finally get to see him fight, and it's like nothing happened. So kind of disappointing, especially I'm dog tired staying up late for this fight, and don't want to say it was boring. Boring compared to UFC for sure. Compared to boxing, it's about the average or standard. but I would have liked to see Canelo go for it more at the end of this fight. And Canelo started the fight slow, which didn't help. But would the judges give the first 3 rounds to the contender? Okay. Even if they don't, I mean, he won this thing by 6 rounds. Like, he won this thing like 9-3. So there's a lot of room for error. And here we go. And it's not quite as dramatic as UFC in terms of the decision, but we'll see how they do it. Here we go. $116 to $112. It's going to be unanimous. $115. $113. Wow. Unanimous decision. Wow. Wow. Terence Crawford just won the fight of his career. He's on his knees, shedding a lot of tears right now. And you don't realize till a guy wins a big fight like this how much it means to him. There's Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's pumped up. And Crawford may retire undefeated, and he gets a staple win on his career, and you can see it on his face. That's a year. He's 38 years old. He's been in the game forever. 42-0. All the hard work throughout your life. And there it is. Wow. Huge win for him. Just a lot of work to get to this point, and it's unbelievable. And he's putting all the belts on right now. He's putting on all the belts. But that's the way it went down. Terence Crawford remains undefeated and absolutely dominated. I mean, dominated Canelo Alvarez. It was closer in the judges' scorecards because some rounds go to the champ, but this one wasn't even close enough for that to be the case. That's the way it goes down here between Alvarez and Crawford. We'll see you next time.